Maybe you could become the new professor.
Ooh.
Professor Brando. We are in trouble.
Oh, no. We have the same degree.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You and Prof?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's sad for everybody. Sad for both of you guys. All right.
Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 448. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to finish off Bloomburrow by talking about some Commander decks. Now, hit our theme song!
Commander Precons. Ugh, so boring. I only build custom decks.
But the Precons are good now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they are.
Are these ones good?
They are, actually. They're
Okay.
good in all sorts of ways, and we're going to tell people all about that after we say something akin to... Hey, Ryan! We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Not as good as producer Gary's ear holes that you just blasted out the back of them.
You only need one eardrum, I think. Right? You can totally still do stuff with only one.
Yeah. Good. What is going down?
Whole tons going down. We're going to talk about we're going to explore these precons in a way that we explore them in like our personal real lives, and I think that the people in the nation are going to get some value from that. We've got some stories to tell, some people to thank, but before we get to any of that stuff, you have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They are your source for all your gaming needs, and Pile of Bones Brewing Co. They're the second coolest thing to come out of Regina, and they are the official beer sponsor of Commander Cookout Sidewalk Slam Season 2. Right here on YouTube.
I know we keep touting it, hey? We keep touting it, and every time we're here, we just do a little bit more work to get us a little bit closer, right? And I'm quite excited now that we had to do some major camera adjusting between last recording and this one, and
oh my God,
we think we've got it figured out.
Yeah, it's my shirt. My shirt is the problem.
Mostly, whenever we do green screens, the blue, the green, the yellow, that you would see if you're watching on YouTube.
Which you should be. You'd be able to see my favorite shirt.
Yeah, and producer Gary told you not to wear it anymore.
No, he didn't.
That's it. We're just going to do Commander Cookout Topless Hour.
I don't know, man. I feel like that would just be the same kind of color. I'm a little...
Oh.
You know?
Well, God, Topless Hour on the internet. Yay.
Everybody on the internet loves
CC OnlyFans. Yay. Well, we're here. Big thanks to producer Gary, the damn studio. We're here. We are just making some plans for a new little thing that we got on the go, but we're not going to talk about it yet because we've got some other business.
Other fish to fry.
Not
tapped fish.
Other otters to fry.
Man, otters are... Actually, I like otters, actually. I saw them when I went to the whatchamacalls that? The aquarium.
The aquarium in Vancouver. Yep.
They're cool.
Yep.
That whole, like, what is it, a genus? Family of animals. There's otters and seals and walruses and sea lions. They're really cool. I like them. They're a cool animal, and they do like a really cool like function in the world where they keep the urchin beds from getting too big, which kills everything on the ocean floor. Like, so they're really healthy.
Oh, look at Uncle Brando, the marine biologist.
Yeah, right? So not only are they like cute and fun to watch, but they do something that's really, really important in the world. And that's cool, man.
The marine brandologist.
Oh,
But even better than that, I'm going to take it a step forward. You know how we like to develop jokes with the team here at DAM, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Is brandology is going to be a branch of science that we really explore and develop here. I just made it up.
Where it's things that I've heard that I only half remember, but then I talk about them like they're definitely real.
Brandology.
Like, is anything I just said real? Yes. Yes, it is. But also, is it?
Maybe you could become the new professor.
Ooh.
Professor Brando. We are in trouble.
Oh, no. We have the same degree.
Oh, yeah. You and Prof?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's sad for everybody. Sad for both of you guys. All right. Well, hey, listen. We mentioned Fusion. Big thank you to FusionGamingOnline.com, your source for all your Bloomburrow needs.
Yes, and you have some, because I'll bet you, I don't think there's an EDH player out there that isn't going to benefit from at least one card in these sets.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
You know what I think I think if you go to Fusion, this is what you do.
Okay, go there.
Go there and use CCO Summer promo code.
Great idea.
You're going to get a discount.
You're going to spend less on stuff you're buying anyway.
If nothing else, buy one of the plainses or the forests or whatever that gives me the Gaia's Cradle vibe. Remember I said that on the review show?
Yeah, the 10-tree city or whatever the hell it is.
No. It was a basic. It was either a plains or something that kind of has the curly kind of grass.
Yeah.
Get the summer one. Gives me major Gaia's Cradle vibes. Make that into a Gaia's Cradle proxy.
Ooh.
That's fine, isn't it?
Just write Gaia's Cradle on it.
There you go.
Yep.
I just thought of that.
It's pretty cool.
I don't know.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, give them to all your friends. Get all your stuff at Fusion.
Yep.
CCO Summer promo code. Talked about Pile of Bones from Regina.
We did. We're going to go there soon, and they're
Yes.
going to host us. We're going to play pinball, and we're going to drink beer, and we're going to be with our friends, and we're going to eat food, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be the best time we've ever had in Regina, and you could be there if you're near Regina.
Yes, and you know what Keel told me?
Tell me.
Keel told me that the CCO suite in his house now comes complete with air conditioning.
Ooh. You know what I'm super excited about, and this is super secret, don't tell Keel.
Oh, I won't. He's probably not watching.
I'm so excited to see Leo the cat.
Oh,
I like his cat Leo a lot. We've talked about it on the show before. He's only got one eye. And
Yep.
Like when he likes you, he comes over and he like does the cat head nuzzle, but he like nuzzles you with his weird empty eyeball sockets. Like your finger kind of goes in his head a little bit. I freaking love that cat. He's so nice, and it's just right. And he's not like one. He's not.
great.
He's the perfect mix of like. He's not one of those cats that has to be on you all the time. But he's also not one of those ones that like sits in the corner of the room and judges you. Right?
Yes.
He's just a
Yes.
homie hanging out with you. I'm so excited to see him and Keel and Procop and all of our friends that live in Regina.
There we
and some
go.
of our friends that are going to visit Regina.
yeah,
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you know that CCO shows up, and this is leading into the next couple places that you can find CCO. Okay, so Regina on September 14th.
Okay.
You and I and a bunch of the CCO dude bros.
Hell yeah.
And the Regina crew, like we show up. And I know a couple of the dude bros saying like their wives are going to come down. They're going to come up for supper, maybe stay the night in a hotel, all that stuff. And I want everybody that's in the nation from PA, Saskatoon, Regina, Moose Jaw, Winnipeg, surrounding area, wherever you're from, come to the Regina show because it's a ton of fun, and maybe we'll do like another one of those charity tournaments. We'll make Uncle Brando play sealed. I'll oversell my own tournament so I don't even get to play, and then we'll go and just drink 100 beer and eat just like 100 food.
Yes.
And gain 3 life every time.
that's like that's 300 life.
Yes.
Can you imagine gaining 300 life? You'd be unstoppable.
Oh, yes. Okay, next one. And this is a new development. And sadly, it's only going to be me.
Yeah.
Just based on just the financials of it all. Because Canadian travel is quite...
I'll be the one to say it. Traveling in Canada is outrageous.
yes.
And given that we are going to Regina, we're going to Calgary, not in short order, but close enough together, I'm going to be unable to make Command Fest Toronto, where you can see our boy Ryan. He's going to be seating people. He's going to be talking to people. He's going to be hyping up the show. Some of our... Is it East? It's Eastern Canada.
You were going to call it, yeah.
Eastern or Central Canada?
Central Canada is what they call it, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, a bunch of those guys are going to be there. Like I assume Hermit's going to be there. Some of our dudes from like that area of the country, or they might come up, right? There's lots of people that we know from like the New York, Philly area that could kind of come up into that.
That's pretty far. But if you're like in Detroit, that's close to Windsor, which is close to Toronto.
Yeah.
Like if you're from the Midwest, maybe you want to find a cheap flight to Toronto because it is going to be a 3-day event. I'm actually going for like 4.5 days because I'm doing the setup and the takedown with face-to-face. And I'm going to be launching pods. There is going to be some form of Commander Cookout booth for merch there. If you're out east and have never ordered from CommanderCookout.com, I ask you, why fucking not?
Yeah, why haven't you done that yet?
But you can get it at Command Fest Toronto. And I didn't know this at the time that I said that I would come, but I guess on Saturday there's some kind of after party that I have to MC.
Excellent.
I got roped into that before I even knew it was a thing. So if you've ever been to a Commander Cookout like after party or CCO Experience, so much frickin' fun, hey? It's just food and cheersing and opening packs and like playing Commander at the bar. And the last one in Vancouver was awesome because we had like this whole area booked and rented.
The whole bar,
just for us. And we had our own private bartender, right? So that's what this party is going to be like, I'm told.
Okay.
And I assume that me emceeing means that maybe it's a little bit more of like an event for face-to-face than it is for Commander Cookout. There might be prizes or games, trivia. I don't know what, but I'm told it's going to be fun.
Let's upsell the people, Ryan.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing.
No, you were selling. I'm an upsell. Here's what happens at this event. And this is 100% positive. This is the truth.
I'm ready.
I'm hitting you with
ready.
Science facts.
Brandology.
If this event goes well, if people show up to this event with Ryan,
in Toronto,
watch him MC this Toronto event, September 27th to 29th, it's going to be in there somewhere. Check the event listings. Watch this show.
Yeah.
You're going to get all the details.
Oh, you could talk.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're not even there yet?
This is full Toronto. You're going to show up. It's going to be such a raucous success.
Yes.
That they're going to say, holy shit, we had so much excitement.
Oh, yes. Face-to-face loves excitement.
And they had so much good times there. I'll bet you next time when we do this, when we invite Ryan, we're going to make sure that Brando can come too.
Oh, yeah.
And that way, next time we go to Toronto, I will also be there. So if this goes well, I will go to Toronto too next time.
Or, a just question, my liege. And or November 15th to 17th in Calgary.
Oh, yeah.
When we're already planning on going with the full CCO crew.
Oh, you want the full meal deal? You want the full everything? You want the 3 days? You want to go to the bar? You want to open packs? You want to party with me and Ryan? November 15th to 17th in Calgary, baby. We're going to be there. Do we have the house planned? Do we got the whole gimmick going? Or are we still?
We don't yet. I'm still waiting on a few people that might be flying in. And if they fly in or not, that kind of dictates where we stay.
Okay.
Right? And I got to talk to my cousin because she's got to like clear out her whole house if it's going to be just a bunch of CCO dude bros.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of booking a house or instead of
So we're gonna
staying
stay at your
outside of the city.
Stay at your cousin's house?
No. No.
Nice.
Calgary is not in the works because you know how I operate. I don't do the next one until this one's over. And I got in trouble last time when I did that last year in Calgary when we went Vegas, Calgary 4 days after each other.
Yeah.
And we were all walking around like zombies for the next month.
We were beaten to death in Calgary, hey?
Yes.
I just remember
Uncle Brando got so... Okay, you drank... What was it?
I drank a 2.6 of Baja Rosa.
Baja Rosa. He was so frickin' hungover the next day. You didn't even play Magic.
I just sat pots.
Just sat in,
and I was like
in shame.
I was like AV the progenitor ooze. I like slimed across the floor and just like reformed myself at the table, gave people the thing, melted back into a puddle and oozed back to my chair. It was a moment. It was a moment. That
and
one.
You know what? Listen, it's not all about getting hammered and
Hell no.
going to the bar till 4 a.m. because that's not really what it's turned into now that we're frickin' old.
It's about having fun with your buddies and just partying the way that you party with people that are of like mind, and you're going to find somebody that does that. You're going to have fun. You're going to have a great time. And coming to a Commander Cookout experience is it's the best way to experience Magic Fest.
That's why experience is in the title.
I say that unequivocally because if you just want to go out and like you want to have the trip experience of like, hey, I'm on a Magic vacation, and you want to just play Magic and have some like fun games with good people.
Yeah.
That's what we're there for. That's literally why we go. And we do it better than anybody else, and we do it differently than anybody else.
Yeah.
So get on board and show up, and it's going to be fun.
Regina, September 14. Toronto, September 27 to 29. And then Calgary, November 15 to 17. And those are all weekend dates, like Saturday inclusive dates. So if you can only come one day or stay one evening, Saturday is the evening. And you know what I like about what they do on the weekend events? I learned this now. They always schedule like a 2-headed giant commander event, like right as the last sign-up event on that day.
Sure.
So you can finish your day playing with a friend.
Cool.
And that's actually how I missed supper in Vancouver, because I got like roped in to play with a guy whose partner had to drop out.
Oh, dang.
And then he wouldn't have gotten to play, and his opponents, 2 guys, wouldn't have got to play.
Okay.
So I just jumped in, and we had this big epic game. Oh, bad guys versus good guys. Yeah, it was awesome.
And I went and ate fish at the literal edge of the ocean.
Yeah.
So big thanks to Rusty Trom Jones for taking me to the actual edge of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And then telling me not to walk on it because I'd have to get rescued by the fire department and they would be embarrassed.
I'm sure it happens lots.
Oh, it happens way too often. That's why they told me not to do it. You don't want to be one of those people. You don't want to be one of those people, Brandon.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Commander Munchies.
Holy shit, we got more business. Commander
Well, no,
Munchies.
we were just talking about the fruit flies in here that you're trying to get.
I hate them. I feel like Blarg.
Blarg. What if you had a
Oh man, if I could, that'd be so good.
frog tongue?
Can't.
I don't want to imagine Brando with a frog tongue. I don't know what you'd be doing with that thing.
Oh man, it would.
Gross.
It would. I kind of want that now.
I don't want
I think
you to
it
have
would
that.
be so fun.
I'd never see you.
Well, you never see me, but I might see you.
I'd never see your girlfriend. I wanted to mention Commander Munchies quick because everybody in the nation said that Aiden's done such a good job with them.
They're super fun and they're so on brand and they're great and they provide an invaluable service that I think there's so many like guys like us that just don't have time or don't give a shit, so we don't pay attention to the story, but we want to know it so that we can talk about it. But like, I don't want to read it. I don't have time for that, right?
Yeah.
We just don't. Or there's like the long form guys that do a great job, but maybe you don't have 25 minutes to hear about why Blarg is like a thirst trap. Maybe you don't know that, right? Maybe you don't have time for that shit. So our boy Aiden, all killer, no filler, super tall Ninja Miller, will just give it to you in a minute and a half. Done.
Yeah, want to know the MTG story? Only have 1 minute a day to listen?
Yeah. We got you, fam. We got you.
Okay, so he's told us a lot about the commanders. Let's jump into our first one from the precons. Let's do a couple commanders. We'll talk about the decks after.
Okay, do we want to do them like in the decks that they come from, or do we just want to hit them? Like, how do we want to?
Let's do the decks.
Okay.
Let's do the decks. Okay.
Do we want to start with everybody's air quotes most favoritist one with Squirreled Away?
Sure.
Because I think this is a good one. This is a good starting point, and it has I'll spoil it. I think that the best, most number oneest important thing about this exact precon,
The squirrel one.
It's a great precon. It does all the things it needs to do, and it has the most obvious upgrade in the 99, which is Chatterfang.
Just switch.
Because if you want to play Golgari Squirrels, Chatterfang is the best commander, and that's just how it is.
If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those plus a 1/1 squirrel are created, and you can got Forest Walk and black sack X squirrels. Target creature gets -X until end of turn. That's Chatterfang.
It's an enabler and it's a removal spell. It's so good, and it rewards you for doing what your deck's going to do anyway, and it's just in the deck.
Yeah.
So if you want I like this deck a lot, but I want it to be better, you swap 2 cards that are in the deck already, and your deck's better. And that's great. Good on WotC for doing that. I like that a lot.
Okay, so the real commander, though, is Hazel of the Root Bloom. I want to say Rot Bloom, but it's Root Bloom.
I like Rot Bloom too, but it doesn't fit the...
Squirrel Druid, 3/5 for green, black, 2. Tap, pay 2 life. Tap X, untap tokens you control. Add X mana of any color that you want.
Sure. Any combination of colors.
Red and black, sure.
Yes.
Green and black is what we're going to do.
Maybe blue.
At the beginning of your end step, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. If that token is a squirrel, instead create 2 that are copies.
That's pretty good.
So you would get an additional one if you also have a Chatterfang out, right?
Yeah.
And you can tap this to give yourself mana for each token you control. Now, that's interesting that they worded it that way because a lot of squirrel decks have cards like Pitiless Plunderer in them to give them mana when their squirrels die.
We're going to rock treasures and stuff.
And you're going to have treasures with your squirrel tokens.
Yep.
And Chatterfang interacts with treasures favorably because you're going to get a treasure and a squirrel, and then this is going to give you mana for both of them. So really, if you have a Pitiless Plunderer, this kind of acts as a mana doubler and or a Gaia's Cradle on a creature.
Yeah, it's very good.
This is a good card. This should be in Squirrel decks,
yes,
right?
it should go in all the Squirrel decks. And again, like it depends on how you want to build your deck, how powerful you want it to be. But this is a great Squirrel Commander. This is a great card. And reading the whole deck, it's a good deck, and it's built with her in mind. And she does a lot of really good stuff. So good on WotC for this one. I think Hazel the Root Loom is a really, really good card. The backup commander in this deck
Which one is the backup commander?
is exactly. It's the Odd Acorn Gang, which is a 5/5 for green, black, 3. Menace, Trample, Reach, Squirrel Warrior.
Okay.
Squirrels you control have tap. Target squirrel gets +2/+2 and against trample until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever one or more squirrels you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Okay, this card fucks too.
This is also good, but it's not as good as, again, Chatterfang or our previous girl. This one requires you to have several squirrel tokens.
So does the other one.
While it does not make them.
Okay, yeah.
And it's got you can draw up to 3 cards a turn, which is great.
Yep.
And then you need squirrels to make squirrels, to get bigger as squirrels, to get over your opponent's blockers. There's a lot of semi-hoops to jump through, and I just don't think that this one's going to be seen at the... It's a great 99 card.
Yes.
But I feel like it's not going to be the one that you're ever going to replace either of the other 2 commanders or the other squirrel from yesterday's episode with.
Yeah, you know what this is going to be? This is a Menace, Trample, Reach 5/5 for 5 that has Squirrel on its type line that says draw 3 cards a turn.
Yeah.
That's really good, though.
It's a good card.
That's one of the best creatures in your 99.
Yes. It's going to do lots of good work for you, but it kind of needs the Chatterfang or the other girl to enable it to do its thing.
I've got a thought in my head. At what point does the Squirrel deck, or any deck, get to the point where there's enough good creatures that are powerful and synergistic where you don't have room to run them all if you also still need to run things like Rampant Growth or Kodama's Reach or other combo pieces, and your Squirrel deck shifts from being Squirrel combo to Squirrel aggro or Squirrel draw my whole deck. And I like to think about that with Squirrels because I think we're getting to the point where it's not just... Of course, it's still the Squirrel deck or a Squirrel deck, but it's a different variety where this is like my Squirrel aggro deck. And I don't know if we're all the way there yet, like we are with zombies, right?
Yes.
Or we are with humans.
Or goblins or merfolk.
Exactly, yeah. We're not there yet, but I think we're close because... And how many times over today and yesterday did I say this Squirrel card is so good, this one's so good, this one's so good, this one goes in the Squirrel deck? Well, what are you cutting? Are you cutting your meat and potatoes out of there? Like, are you cutting your 2-mana ramp? No, I don't think so.
I think where we're at right now is we're just about to the point where there's going to be a best Squirrel deck. It's not going to do aggro or combo or whatever. It's just going to be, there is going to be a best Squirrel deck. Mm-hmm. And then as time goes on, we're going to see the branching evolution, to drop a card name, of the decks into the aggro one and the combo one and the Chatterfang one and the Odd Acorn one. We're
almost there.
But we haven't quite hit it yet. But I think we have reached the critical mass where there's going to be you're going to have to say, this isn't the Squirrel deck. I don't have all the things to make it the Squirrel deck. And then the person that you say that to is going to say, well, why not? It all came out in that Precon.
Yeah.
Like, you've already got a Chatterfang deck. You buy the Precon, you put the shit in, you've got the Squirrel deck.
It's like, okay, with elves, is it Elf Ball? Or is it like Legolas and other elves from the Lord of the Rings set?
Yeah.
Because those are different decks.
Yes,
they're both elf decks.
Yes, but they're not the same elf deck, whereas with Chatterfang, like, it's the Squirrel deck. It's the fucking Squirrel deck, and that's just what it is.
I like that we're getting to the point where it might not be, though. I do like that.
I'm excited for that, too, because... if you've watched CCO Sidewalk Slam, like, fuck Chatterfang, man. God damn it.
We lost to Chatterfang, definitely.
So I'm excited for when the Squirrel deck can just be like I don't want to say it can be a fun deck again, as if it's not. But I think that when you see the Chatterfangs and stuff, you're just going to think, oh, God damn it, it's the fucking Squirrel deck. I have to do the thing to beat the Squirrel deck. And, like, it just ends up with maybe some games that aren't so great. Out of the box, I think that this deck is really, really cool. And are you going to go and buy it at your LGS and drop into a game and play and do well? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because this is a stoutly built deck. It's easy to upgrade because the Squirrel deck is very pinpoint on like here's what you need, here's what you want to put in, here's what you want to take out. That's all there for you already. And I think this deck is a great taking off point. It's got Skull Clamps and Sol Rings and all of your general ramp. Then it's got a bunch of really cool stuff for your removal package. It's got Windgrace's Vengeance and
Judgment.
Windgrace's Judgment,
Yep.
sorry. Casualties of War. I think it's got a Maelstrom Pulse in it. Like it's got lots of really good stuff, as well as the Chatterfang and the Acorn Catapult, I think, is one of the things it comes with.
It's got...
There's so many things in here that just kind of go into your Squirrel deck.
It's got a... I just saw it. It's the token doubler. Second Harvest at instant speed. For each token, you get another token.
Yep.
Right, so it's got a lot of the pieces. Instead of a Crater Hoof, it's got an Endraze Forerunner,
Which will get you there, too.
which will get you there. It's got a Saw in half with cute new art. The squirrel is actually like chopping a snake in half.
Lots of people have been talking about this one because it's the first reprint since Unfinity.
Yep.
And a lot of people, I think Ryan is one of them, that doesn't like Unfinity cards because like they're fucking Unfinity and they look stupid.
You know what? I just did a full art extension for Machine Gun Jimmy on a Saw in half. Card looks money in full art.
Because like those cards, every Thursday on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Saw in Half is a great reprint for people who aren't Unfinity fans. They finally want to, I can't play it because of the art. Those people exist. And now they can jam this
Yep.
this really, really good card. That's a great
Yeah,
reprint.
that card is good. That card's an instant, mind you.
Yes.
An instant, mind you.
You want to see how much that card can blow up a game. Check out Sidewalk Slam when we play with Jay.
Did he Saw in half something?
Saw in half my Massacre Worm, baby. Ooh. Oh yeah, that was a mistake.
That was a
Is
mistake.
what that was.
Hey, let's move on to the Raccoon deck.
This is the if you look
This is the one
on
right here.
YouTube, which you should be. I actually did buy this one. I did purchase this deck specifically because I think that it's got all the tools to do a deck I've been curious about for a really long time. And it doesn't, as again out of the box, I don't think it does it quite the way I want to. Mm-hmm. But all of the pieces are there to enable me to play what is essentially big dumb idiot enchantments / artifacts.
I love big dumb idiots.
Right? Like I'm just gonna play like this enchantment for fucking 5 that doesn't do anything unless I have a whole bunch of creatures in play. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden it's gonna do something because it itself is a 4/4 with haste, indestructible, and I think I just haste indestructible.
Well, here let's give the commander a read. It's Bellow, Bard of the Brambles, BBB.
BBB baby.
Brando playing Bellow, Bard of the Brambles on the BBO and the CCO, and it's a 3/3 Raccoon Bard for red, green, 1. During your turn, each non-equipment artifact and non-aura enchantment you control with mana value 4 or greater is a 4/4 elemental creature in addition to its other types and has indestructible, haste, and when this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Oh baby.
So all of your do-nothings that are big things that you just cast and say go are now 4/4s.
Exactly, with haste and indestructible, so you can just get in there and maybe draw a card. Because 4 is like the line. If you attack with a 4/4, they're probably going to block it, and you're either going to kill their blocker.
4/4 is I got to chump that.
Yeah, or they're going to be like, oh damn it, I don't want to lose my guy because it's 4 and it's going to kill my commander or whatever that I have to chump block. So they let it through, and you draw a card.
Or I'm at 22. If you hit me for 4, I go to 18. Then I'm like in the teens, and then people start to sweat a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
that's fireball range, baby. Like,
you know what?
I like this card. I
like this card. In like, they gain indestructible, so you could build an entire deck of just non-creature artifacts and non-aura enchantments. And ramp, of course, filled with sweeper type effects.
It doesn't say non-creature. It says non-equipment.
Non-aura and non-equipment.
Yeah,
okay.
So all those shitty like 2/2s for free because they have affinity for
So
artifacts.
Frogmite is actually a 4/4 now?
It's an indestructible 4/4 with haste that draws you a card when it hits
that
somebody.
you pay 0 for.
Yeah, that costs nothing.
Because you're playing lots of artifacts.
Yes.
And you put all of the sweeper and destroy everything effects in the deck.
Yep.
And deal damage to each creature effects like the one that deals 4 to each thing and 4 to each player, and each player sacrifices 2 lands. Like you put all of those in here, and it's not going to kill any of your guys as long as you can give your commander like protection or indestructible or something, right?
And even if you kill Bello, he only costs like 3, 5, 7, 9.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to sweep the table to win when all of your... Because let's face it, like some of those 5 mana, 4 mana enchantments are pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And they give you pretty fucking mana.
If you go 10 damage to every creature like an earthquake and Bello gets caught up in it and dies, as soon as Bello leaves the battlefield, your enchantments aren't creatures anymore, right? So damage marked on them doesn't actually do anything. Ooh, yeah. Bello is cool.
This is a cool deck, and I'm excited for. I think again, like I said before, out of the box, I'm thinking it's lacking. I don't know what it's lacking, but there's some punch at the top end.
You know
that it doesn't
what?
have.
You know what? What kind of things could you do if you did play a deck that had 0 other creatures in it? Like I'm thinking of cards like Polymorph, or what's the red Polymorph, or what's things like Warp World that care about the type of card, not permanent or not permanent, like Warp World cares about.
Shifting Shadow. Possibility Storm.
Yes, where it's like I have
Possibility Storm's a 4/4 with haste that's indestructible, Ryan.
It's indestructible. And if you have to dig until you reveal something of the same type, but you only have one of that type, like everybody knows that that's the way to cheat Polymorph. Like that's even in EDH or in CEDH, that's how you get your Hullbreaker, Hullbreaker horror is like you don't play any other creatures.
Yeah.
You just play your Karnstruct in your Urza deck and you just polymorph it down into your Hullbreaker horror, then you just frickin' kill everybody with it.
Yeah.
Right? This guy gives you the opportunity to do stuff like that in Gruul.
That's
pretty cool.
And the backup
Who's the
commander for
backup?
deck is actually pretty cool. He's down near the bottom here. There he is.
Yep.
Wild Seer Scouring Maw is a 6/6 with trample for Gruul and 3. Enchantment spells you cast from your hand have Cascade. Pretty cool. So when you play your whatever, you'll get a whatever.
This guy goes good as a backup singer.
Yep.
He is a 6/6 for 5 with trample, which is already good,
That's not bad.
and gives you 2 for 1 literally every time you cast an enchantment.
Yes.
It's only enchantments though.
Yes.
But this would be a really cool like enchantress deck. Mm-hmm. Enchantments you cast from your hand have Cascade, and anything that you could cast is either going to be a ramp spell or an enchantment spell.
Yes.
And you play the enchantment enchantresses, like Enchantress's Presence.
Yeah.
It's an enchantment that says whenever you play an enchantment, draw a card.
Yes.
So you're drawing a card and cascading whenever you do anything.
Whenever you do the thing.
Yeah.
He's cool. I like him.
Yeah, and you're playing green, so if you did want to play other enchantress type effects, you can tutor them up.
Yep, you got him.
If you cascade into a tutor, then you can just play the card.
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. This guy's kind of cool, but I think kind of the width of things that you could build with him are a little bit limited.
Yes, much like most of the Enchantress type commanders, the window is small, but it's a pretty good window if you're into that. And it is a new kind of Enchantress commander because it's Gruul, so they're trying something a little bit different.
And it says Cascade on it. And whenever you have something that has Cascade on it, shit's gonna go down because Cascade is so kooky. There's so many little things and timing things and casting and where's it coming from, and casting from exile is where they get cast from, which matters to like a wild mage sorcerer or whatever. Like the first spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade, so you could have like double Cascade if you're giving things in your hand Cascade. So many weird things to do with this guy.
I like him. I like him a lot.
The deck is a little bit weird. The deck doesn't give me vibes like what we were just talking about with Bello.
The deck gives you the ability to make a bazillion mana, and then it kind of just sort of eats shit from there.
A couple good reprints. So Tender Shoot Dryad was like a $10 card before it got reprinted.
I believe that's the first reprint of it as well. It was in a conspiracy set, I think.
Battle Bond.
There we go. Basically, conspiracy set. It's like this, but it's this first reprint of it, which is cool. I believe. And there was another one that was...
There's like Greater Good. There's... there's a couple new cards that are expensive in there, but that's just because they're new.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's fine. It's not as expensive of a deck if you were to outright buy them all from from like a card by card standpoint.
From
But
FusionGamingOnline.com using CCO promo code.
yeah, if you want the deck though, you would just buy it like as a whole,
Yeah, just go
like
buy-
in the box, right?
And it gives you, and it's right in the deck here. It might be the first deck where Bootlegger's Stash isn't the hugest piece of shit ever.
Yeah, because all of your lands are
All
create
your
a
land-
treasure.
all
Oh,
your
but the
lands-
treasures don't turn into 4/4s because
No.
they don't have any mana cost,
No,
right?
but at least now it's a 4/4 indestructible with haste that you can attack with.
Oh, yeah, that's
right?
good.
You don't just tap
Yep.
6 and get nothing,
Yes,
which is fine.
yes.
That's okay. Next deck.
Next deck. Oh, the bird deck.
Family
Sort of.
Matters is this one. This is the one that gives all your dudes the mechanic that we liked so much. Offspring?
Yes. So,
Give the meaning of life, baby. Let's read her. She's at the
okay.
bottom here.
Zinnia Valley's Voice, a 1/3 bird bard for blue, red, white, flying. Of course, Zinnia Valley's Voice gets +X/+O, where X is the number of other creatures you control with base power 1.
Which I think lends this, again, not the deck that you're buying, but the decks you could build with this are really cool. Like you could do Zinnia Goblins / Merfolk / humans. Really cool.
Yep. Now,
what else does she do?
Creatures you control, creature spells you cast have Offspring 2.
Which again leads into Zinnia Humans, Zinnia Goblins,
Yep.
Zinnia Merfolk.
You may
right?
pay an additional 2 as you cast this creature spell. If you do, when that creature enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 token that's a copy of it.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So
Dockside Extortionist.
I can double my guy
Yeah.
for 2 mana.
Yes.
I can have 2 Docksides.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
That's pretty good.
That's
right?
pretty good.
Because anytime you could, it breaks the main rule of Commander. You can only have 1. Well, now I can have 2, and that's pretty good.
Dockside got 1 power too.
Yeah. So your dude's gonna get +2/+0 for being in play, right? Because you get a 1/1, you get a 1/2, and then you get all those treasures, and then you can use those treasures to play more creatures, to offspring more creatures, to make your dude bigger, to make play Siege Gang Commander. Get 2 of them. Now your guy get what +7? Right? Like, it's pretty good. I like this card. This commander is really, really cool. I don't care for the deck as much myself, but I really like Zinnia. I think Zinnia is cool.
I like the open-endedness from a creature type perspective. I love the art. The bird bard reminds me of like the stork that's telling the story on Robin Hood the cartoon from like the 50s. I love that. It's the same guy. That guy, right?
He's got a cool hat.
Yeah, and man, there's got to be so many ways to just dirty, rotten, stinking cheat 1x creatures onto the battlefield.
Oh,
right?
hell
Like,
yeah, there
We're
is.
not paying full price for creatures with 1 power. We're just not.
No.
And Zinnia is going to be like, oh, I got flying. I'll hit you for 20, 21. Right? That's what we're doing.
I like this. I like this a lot. I like her a ton. And like, I don't even give a shit. Like, the deck is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just,
Yeah, we'll read it in a second.
Zinnia is the shit. Is this the one?
Who's the backup for Zinnia?
Is it Mr. Fox?
I don't think.
Or is it this up at the top here, this dickhead?
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
is
that's him.
Okay, Arthur Marigold Knight is a little mouse riding a.
What is that?
What is that? It
looks
can't
like-
be a horse.
It looks like a stick.
It looks like a bunch of sticks. Maybe it's an enchanted stick horse.
Sure.
We'll need to watch the next episode of Commander Munchie to find out what the hell it is. Okay, so 4/5 Mouse Knight for Jeskai and 2, so 5 mana for a mouse.
Yeah, that's
Really?
a lot.
Haste.
Yeah.
Okay, we like this.
It's also a 4/5 mouse. It's this tall.
Is that how tall 4/5 mouse is, bro? Because mice are usually like this tall.
Well, no, when they're standing on their back legs.
That's a rat. That's that tall.
And he's riding a horse.
Okay, so when Arthur and at least one other creature attack, look at the top 6 of your library. You may put a creature from among them onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, put the rest on the bottom in a random order, return that creature to its owner's hand at end of combat.
This is not fixed, but less powerful.
Winota. Yeah, gave me Winota vibes. It adds blue to Winota.deck. If you want to power down your Winota deck, maybe you're in like a friend group where you don't always play CEDH and you're never allowed to play your best deck
Yeah.
because all your friends hate it and all they do is target you and I want to quit Magic. maybe you play Arthur because he's this cute mouse guy that does like a Winota type thing that you can still sort of sneak attack your Blightsteals in with.
Sort of, he says. It still does all the Winota things. It just bounces it back to the hand at the end. So you can play some more ETB guys and get some value there. Or you can still play the big, dumb idiots that do because he costs 5, so you're going to have some mana to play your 5-6 drops, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I think that he's cool. And again, family matters. This is another creature that does a cool thing. It doesn't actually care about the creature type.
Yes.
Because our first commander...
Because that's what Winota cares about, the creature type too, right?
This one doesn't. It could have easily said whenever you attack with a mouse, you do this. And you don't play all these shitty mice. The other one could have said whenever a bird you control does a thing, right?
Yeah, and this one could have been whenever you attack with Arthur and another knight. Because then it's a knight deck, which severely limits the power that you get by sneaking a guy in.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're trying on this one, and I think that you can sneak some damage in, but from like if you're building this from the ground up, I don't know if it gives you enough like ability to mass cheat, and I don't think it cheats better than other things that do something similar to this.
It certainly does not, which is why I think people are going to not be as like, okay, I'm gonna mess you up for playing that.
Though if you've got top deck manipulation, if you've got lots of scry, like we are playing blue, if you want to do one thing and then somebody flashes in a blocker, I can brainstorm and change what's on the top of my library to cheat in something else, right? Like there is some nuance to it that I like. It's not just, play red, Perforos, put down Blightsteel, smash 12, take, die.
Yes.
Right? It's not just that, which I appreciate.
It can do that, but it doesn't have to do that.
But it's also, I'm smarter than you, so I'm going to brainstorm when I attack. Yeah, so it also does that.
Yeah. So I kind of get with this, again, this deck itself is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. But I think that the main strength of the deck here is the 2 commanders that you're getting in it.
No, just Zinnia. That's just a funky card.
And Zinnia is super fun. Like mainly Zinnia, but those 2 commanders are very good.
You know what?
And they're gonna be decks that you're gonna take this. You're gonna keep some of the stuff in there because it's not a bad deck. It's got some good stuff, and then you're gonna just build something way cooler with it.
Yeah, like we talked about cheating guys into play and stuff. With Zinnia, it's giving your creature spells offspring, and all of the creatures in Bloomburrow that have offspring are kind of like limited, or like, sure, this one gives you mana, maybe they'll see playing standard. Like none of them are breaking any records or doing anything so extravagant, right?
Right.
But Zinnia allows you to give creatures that ought not to have offspring. Now I have 2 of these things, right? Like Dockside, now it's a mana. Maybe it's a mana tripler, Dockside, or maybe I can have 2 of this thing that EDH has a rule set that says you're not allowed to have 2 things. So when you can have more than one of them, it's like insanely powerful.
Yes.
Right? So watch out for Zinnia decks that are just getting value off of cheating.
Yes.
Instead of just like making Zinnia this huge beater, right?
Like the more rules you can break in Magic, the better you're probably going to do at Magic. And Zinnia breaks the cardinal rule of EDH.
Which makes it EDH.
Good.
Yeah,
yes.
Which makes it EDH.
Which I like lots. And the last deck we have is...
It's kind of tied for cheapest deck if you were to build it. So
at the time of recording, it's the day after the pre-release has begun, and all of the decks, as it stands right now, are worth more than you pay for them. Air quotes, worth. So... good. And I think that all of these
sure, but I don't know if modern precons we need to like assess them like that, because mostly they stay together and become like a slightly modified version of themselves, which doesn't cost money.
And that's what I was going to say. Like all of these decks, spoiler alert, I think are good, and you can buy them and play them, and you'll have a good game with them. Yeah. And they're worth chuck a couple extra cards in here and we'll play around with it that way. This will be my air quotes low power deck, and you're going to be hanging with people's mid to medium high power decks and beating the shit out of them with them.
Yeah,
because they're good.
It happens. Professional Magic players and game designers, when they build a precon, it turns out like, and when they can just print in to the deck whatever it needs to make it work good, and they can adjust the numbers and mana costs on stuff so it works. It turns out that that's better than what I build, unless I put some real time and thought into it.
Correct.
It's hard for a lot of people to admit that, but it's really true. You've got a team of dozens and dozens of professional Magic players, professional game designers that all think about this singular product for a long time. And in addition to that, they can just say, hey, this doesn't have enough power. This costs one too much or too few mana. Tweak this ability. They can actually play God on the cards to make the deck work.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, when a new player buys a precon, like I wouldn't be surprised if modifying their precon to upgrade it, they're actually making it worse.
Yeah, they're actually
right?
dragging it down.
And you can compound that by saying, I built this whole deck by myself. It's probably worse than a modern day precon until you've got some significant time and thought, like the equivalent amount that a whole team of designers would give into a deck. Like, why is your Norrin deck that good when really it's not really playing any cards that are so powerful? Yeah. You're not playing Time Twister in your Norrin deck. You can't. But it's still an awesome deck because
I've spent a lot of time.
Spent a lot of time.
Every card has thought and a purpose, and it's a thing.
It's not just something that you threw in because it's a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, last deck. Miss Bumbleflower? What the fuck?
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right out. I fucking hate this deck because it's a goddamn archetype that doesn't exist. Group Hug is a lie.
Okay.
Group Hug is bullshit, and anybody that says, it's my Group Hug deck is either an idiot or they're lying to you. And I hate that. Because they're either playing to not win, which, I mean, I get playing to have fun. I understand that.
So funny.
But, like, just fucking don't do that. Or
don't pretend it's Group Hug and then hit me with Ether Flux Reservoir.
Exactly. And that's what this deck can't do. That doesn't have an Ether Flux in it.
Okay.
But that's what fucking Group Hugs do.
Okay.
And Mrs. Bumflower is the prime example of that shit. What does he do, Ryan?
She, whoever it is.
Ms. Bumbleflower.
1/5 Rabbit Citizen. So she's just hanging out. She's like waiting at the bus stop.
Yeah.
She's like making coffee for you at Starbucks.
Yeah, she's got her groceries.
Valley.
She's ready to go.
Okay, so blue, white, green, 3. Vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Okay. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If this is the second time this ability resolves, you draw 2 cards. Feels very much like Flumph.
Yeah.
With an extra color.
Yep.
And the last time I played Magic, F.U. Thomas, he's got that distinction now because he was playing some kind of Flumph deck and he was trying to gain life and he ended up Ether Fluxing me.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so when we cast a spell, any spell.
Yep. Somebody else draws a card.
So anytime I cast a spell, somebody's going to draw a card.
Yep.
Ooh, that's not very good.
Yeah.
Target opponent.
Yeah, somebody that's not us is going to draw a card.
But then we can put a +1 on any creature.
That's right.
And it gains flying.
Right.
That's actually good.
That's pretty good.
Like just Storm and my guy gets like 20 power.
Sure.
Okay, and flying.
If you're playing Bant Storm, bro, we cracked the code.
I'm sure that deck exists.
Probably does.
It's got blue in it. I'm sure this deck exists.
Yeah.
If it's the second time this ability resolved this turn, draw 2 cards.
So long as nobody drew, while you're playing your 20 cards, so long as nobody drew something to stop you, right?
So I have to do 2 things. They're going to draw 2. I'm going to draw 2 to replace the 2 things I've done.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get ahead on this exchange because I get a +1 and flying.
Yes.
Okay, so the bonus that I get is +2 and flying to my guy.
Yes.
Somebody or 2 somebodies are
or
gonna,
+1 and flying on 2 guys.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Is that good enough? Like, is that good enough?
No. +1/+1 and flying is not good enough
To give 2 cards away?
To give cards away to your opponents. They're going to use them to hammer you.
Okay, who's the backer-upper on this one? The Fox.
The fantastic Mr. Fox. Lots of people like Mr. Foxglove.
Yeah, I actually like Mr.
This,
Fox.
this is a neat card. Let me read this one.
Okay.
So with Banton 2, Mr. Foxglove is a Fox Rogue, 3/5 with lifelink. Whenever he attacks, draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus the number of cards in your hand.
Okay. You attack me.
Yes.
I've got 5 cards in my hand.
Uh-huh.
You've got 2 cards in your hand.
Uh-huh.
You're going to draw 3.
Yes.
You're going to attack me and draw 3.
Yes.
And gain 3 life because he's got lifelink.
Yes.
Okay, what else does he do?
Then, if you didn't draw any cards this way because I have 5 and you have 3,
Yep.
then I put a creature from my hand into play.
You sly fox.
Right? So you attack the people that have more cards with you until you can get something big, and then you attack that poor hellbent son of a bitch that has nothing going on, and you drop some huge, monstrous beater that makes everybody cry. This card is fun. I like this guy.
Then you put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh, too bad it wasn't tapped and attacking.
Oh, God, no. But we understand why it's not tapped and attacking.
Yeah, so we're just being tricksy?
Yep.
Look at that art, though.
Too many Ulamogs out there now to have them be tapped and attacked.
Ooh,
Too many.
Too many Ulamogs.
Too many of them.
Too many Blightsteals and Ulamogs, yeah. Man, I think that this might be my favorite art on a commander in the set. He just looks...
He's got his floofy sleeves.
He's
and his fun
freaking...
hat.
He's dashing.
Yeah.
And he is just... He's smarter than you. He's a better fighter than you. He's going to pick...
Your pockets.
He's going to... Oh, man, this guy... And he looks like he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a cool card.
Yeah, I like this guy lots.
And it's funny that we're doing from hand onto the battlefield with creatures, and he doesn't have red in him.
Yep.
Like, this guy could be maybe Teamer.
Sure.
Maybe he could be Jeskai. I don't know. He's got to have blue because we're drawing cards.
Green puts creatures into play. He's got like Elvish Piper
yeah,
and
I
stuff,
suppose.
but-
Yeah.
But man, it's just... And again, where is the hug here? Watsy? Because as it stands, is I attack you for 3, I gain 3 life and get huge beater, and then I give you the finger.
Oh, this
right?
is peace offering. Are you saying that that's a synonym for a group hug?
Look at the face commander. Group hug.
I suppose.
But it's a lie. And
What
this
do we
deck is
got here?
This deck is also quite good.
Is it good?
I think it is. It's another one of those ones that'll stand up pretty good. It plays lots of things, or when you play your second spell, you get a thing. It's got a few giver awayer things and lots of stuff that benefits when your opponents are doing stuff. It kind of harkens back to way back in the day when I talked about my original clone deck with Kami of the Crescent Moons.
Yep.
Why do you have a Howling Mine in the command zone? Because it allows my opponents to do more stuff so that I can copy them.
Yep.
This allows your opponents to do more stuff so that you can get benefits from your other permanents, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
It
the kind of
leverages your
thing
opponent's playing.
that we've been saying for years, that we can leverage our opponents and scale with them. Whatever they're doing, we're doing.
Yep.
Shouldn't put it in your deck, bud.
Exactly.
right? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I've just decided. I want a Mr. Foxglove giant card. I'm gonna see if I can get one of those this year.
Okay.
Because that is a cool piece of art, man. Like, that's just that. I think it's my favorite art in the set. That's a cool
really
piece.
neat. Even more than Glarb?
Or what's the other guy's name? Flubs? Okay, a Flubs big card would be pretty cool.
Not Glarb.
Flubs, Glarb, whatever his frickin' name is, or Mr. Foxglove.
Glarb is the one, man. I'm telling you.
Also, giving somebody the Foxglove, that kind of sounds dirty. Hey?
Gary, is that dirty?
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, Gary says it's dirty.
Dirty.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Well, that's the legends. Those are the decks. That's our brief overview. I want to take just one more second to talk about something that I've got going on that people in the nation have been asking me about.
Okay.
Didn't put it at the start of the show because we were running long there. But, because you've seen it, I'm writing a little bit of a book on how to alter Magic cards.
Correct.
And I think the working title is Painting Trading Cards. But we all know how working titles are. And it's by and large done.
Okay.
By and large done. I'm getting Rebecca, maybe you, maybe a couple people in the nation to do like the final proof of it all. And it's going to be available. I want it to be available in August because it's my birthday, and I kind of told myself by the time that my birthday rolls around, I want to have this done.
Sure.
It was supposed to be out earlier in the year when I was working on something else that fell through.
Yeah.
Just because of cost and shipping from like China and stuff.
Yep.
So I want to do it in August, and I would like everybody who is in the nation to check it out. It's an ebook, so it's like super cheap for a couple reasons. If you're interested in doing your own alters, which I know so many people are just from interacting with me and kind of that portion of my little home business, that's how I make my income, is doing alters. And I've done them for you. I've done them for people in the nation. If you're interested in doing them yourself, like you have,
I have.
pick it up because you'll learn something. If you're interested in supporting myself and Commander Cookout as a whole, pick it up because it would very much help, especially because it's my frickin' birthday. Third, if you've ever gotten cards from me, pick it up because maybe you'll see one of your custom cards in the book. It's about 51 pages long.
Pretty good.
And nearly every page has picture or multiple pictures of cards that I think are good examples of techniques I'm talking about, or pieces that I like, or like developing themes when you're working on a whole deck, or kind of tying, strategy, theme, art all together. And that's kind of the stuff that I do consultations with people when they say, I don't know what I want on the card, or you can do whatever you want, just do it this way and this way and this way. And then I tell them it's not a very good idea to do it that way. Or
I don't care what it is, but I want it to not be so many things. I'm telling you what I want it to be.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
telling you what it is.
So I'm thinking that a book that kind of gives you the history on where altars came from, how they started, and kind of how they permeated Magic culture and have even led to Secret Lair styles.
There you go.
When you see like movie poster altars that have led to Secret Lairs.
Or the Not a Wolf one that just came out.
Or classic art styles and recreations of like Picasso style cubism art, and how that has led to different Secret Lair styles.
Yeah.
I talk about that kind of stuff in the book, and I think it's an important cultural part of the game, and I would love to share it with people. So if you're into that, keep an eye out.
As somebody that's not very good at art like myself, painting is still fun. So if you want to just like try something new, it's going to be worth checking out just for that.
Yeah.
It'll inspire you to try something kind of neat. And who knows, maybe you'll like it.
Maybe you'll like it and find it therapeutic like I did way back in the day. And then when you lose your 6-figure annual job and you are depressed because you have a 4-month-old and a gigantic fucking mortgage, you start to turn your hobby into more than just a hobby. And that's how a lot of what we do now was built.
Yeah, and here we are. Now we got like a cool bright sky behind us and a television that has advertising and a computer and all of you guys watching us. And it comes from learning how to do stuff.
Yeah, and I guess just sticking it out, right? And you've written a book before.
I have.
You've written a book before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how difficult it is and how time-consuming and how self-conscious you feel when you're going to put it out there. So I appreciate you letting me talk about it.
Yeah.
But not you as a person, though.
Hey. The point is, the book is cool. It's going to be out soon. Obviously, keep your eyes, ears, and social medias locked to us. You can check that out.
Cocked and locked to CCO.
Beginning of the show, we told you all the places that you're going to be able to see Ryan or I or both of us in the near future. We got some decks you can pick up. I highly suggest you check them out at your local game store or fusiongamingonline.com because they are worth your hard-earned money because they're great decks with good stuff in them that you're going to use for other stuff.
If you got a line on a giant Mr. Foxglove, I'm in.
Or a giant Glarb, I am in. Because Glarb, I just like saying that. Maybe that's why I like him so much. Anyway, lots to like here, and we're going to be back to talk about, I hope that dude that makes you discard card. What's his name?
Flubs.
One more time. Send us your Flubs deck, and we'll talk about him on the next episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!